This is how we're getting 40 plus videos, new videos every single week, using only a smartphone and having somebody record me as I be the content, me going about my day, we're documenting this, versus me having to create all of my content from scratch. We're early on to this process, but we're already seeing a 900% increase in impressions, more inbound leads coming in, more new clients as a result of that, and better, higher quality content overall. Best part about this strategy is all that I'm using to make these videos is a smartphone that you're seeing right there that's recording me now and a wireless mic. The cost of setup is zero because everyone has a smartphone, and I think 150 bucks for the wireless mic. This is a newer strategy. You're not gonna be able to find a YouTube video about how to do this. It doesn't exist. It's something that right now, as we speak, today, we're starting to implement this with our clients. So what I'm gonna do in the next several minutes is I'm gonna give you the blueprint and the strategy on how to actually do this. We call it the Be Smart video strategy. How to actually be the content while driving revenue for your business with smartphone videos. Let's get into it. First thing you're gonna wanna do, because you're gonna be producing a lot more video content, which if you don't have a good process or system, it's gonna be chaotic. So step number one, we want to set up our workflow. This could be Trello, this could be Airtable, this could be Monday. And what we've done is we've created mini automations throughout this process. So for example, when I plug in a raw video and our content director puts a raw video into the G Drive system, there's a Zapier automation that links up G Drive with Trello, which means it automatically creates a card with the link to the video in the card. And so the editor, all they gotta do is pop in there, grab the video, and it's organized and they're good to go. Step two, label and organize the workflow. You don't have to do it exactly like this. If you got a process that works a little bit better, that's fine. But basically the gist of it is raw videos, ready to edit videos, in progress, ready to review, for revision, posts on deck, and scheduled and archived content. Step number three, it's one of the simplest parts. All you have to do now is be the content. What do I mean by this? Here are things that you can record and document throughout your day. You being at live events, virtual events, team meetings, podcast footage, client or prospect meetings, you traveling, behind the scenes, and thoughtful rants. Now, theoretically, if you're by yourself, you could do this. You would just set up a smartphone and a tripod. Like I did this for many, many years. I would be a guest on a podcast. I would be doing a virtual event, in-person event. You set up a smartphone, your mic, you record what you're doing, and that becomes the content. But where you take it next level is we're gonna go to here in a second, which is having somebody actually film you as you be the content. But if theoretically you could do this by yourself, that would be where I would encourage everyone to start if you're not in a place where you're ready to hire somebody. Let's assume for this instant though, we're really diving into the Be Smart video strategy and we're going all in on this. We are gonna hire a content director, which we're gonna talk about here in a second. For example, Brandon, B-roll, he's covering me right now. He's recording everything that I'm doing. So here's the key to this process, right? Because sometimes it's like, hey, how do I be the content? Like, what do I just like, I show up and I just do things and then we just record that? Let me give you two quick things that'll help you during this process. Because yes, sometimes you're gonna get candid and real moments from you just doing stuff. And that's great. That's some of the best content. Someone's filming you, you're filming yourself, and you're just catching yourself in moments where you're delivering value to your audience, but it's not even you're trying to create it, you're just doing it. You're talking to a client, but the thing that you shared was like an aha moment for them, therefore for the audience and the rest of your potential clients, and that becomes a video clip. But let me give you two things that will help even if you're not getting as many of those natural candid moments, because this will definitely happen in the beginning when you're not as good at this. So I'll give you the first thing. The second thing actually supports the first thing. What you wanna do is you wanna create a content idea bank. I recommend doing it in a shared notes app. That's exactly what we do. So if me and B-roll go in there and I'm making changes, he's making changes, it automatically updates on both of our ends because it's synced. And what we do before we come into each day is we make sure we have at least 20 plus content topics or ideas to record off of. Because sometimes we're traveling, we're on the go, we're doing something, I'm between meetings, and that's when, and maybe I'm not being the content in that exact moment, but because he's got the topics now, he can just say, he knows like, I just got off a meeting, boom, maybe he got some footage from the meeting, great. But now I'm off the meeting and we've got 15 minutes till the next meeting. He can then ask me, hey Alex, what's the difference between videos on LinkedIn versus videos on YouTube Shorts? And I can repeat back that hook. LinkedIn videos versus YouTube Shorts, completely different game. Or here's the similarities, here's the differences. Now we're creating content, but it's still more organic because Brandon is asking me the questions, or your content director is asking me the questions, versus you having to sit down, look at the topic, hit record and make the video. It's much more conversational. It's almost like being on a podcast. So that's the filler stuff that's really important for you to have ready to go as you are being the content. The second thing to go with this is that I've got a ChatGPT prompt that I will try and fit in the description of this video if I can. But basically you input some simple information and it's gonna give you a list of 50 different content topics and ideas, and it's also going to give you the hooks for every single one. And the way I've got the prompt set up, it's going to create a nice column and rows and table for you in ChatGPT. Super simple. But if you're wondering, okay, well, where do I get this person? What is their background? Do I hire this person? Do I pull someone from my team? There's kind of two ways to do it. One, you hire an intern or you hire a full-time employee. They come in and they become the content director. Obviously, in best case scenario, they've got some type of marketing background or schooling, or they've done an internship before in marketing, or they just have a passion or excitement for doing videos and things like that. That works. You've obviously got to be able to coach them and teach them and mentor them. That's where a company like us would come into play, where we'd help you find that right person, put them in, but then make sure they're set up for success. Otherwise, they're going to show up and they're like, all right, what do I do? And you're like, I don't know, just start recording. It's not that simple. The second option is you take someone that's already in your organization and you have them record you as you be the content or document you throughout your day for maybe 3 to 4 hours once a week. Maybe it's a Monday, maybe it's a Tuesday, a Friday, whatever it is. And you just say, hey, Shelly, you know, you're doing operations, but can I borrow you for a couple of hours on a Monday after lunch? And I'm gonna have you record some of the things that I'm doing. Or hop in the car, we're gonna go ride to a client. I want you, as we're driving there, to film me. Let's talk about some things that's relevant to our customers. And then maybe they even record the client visit while you're there. So again, you're gonna get content from two key areas. One, they're just gonna record the things that you're doing and it's gonna come very naturally. We've gotten a lot of our best content that way. You interacting with clients and prospects and the team and doing your thing. And then the other way you're gonna get the content is because your content director, through the content idea bank, he or she's gonna pluck ideas out and just ask you about them, and then you're gonna reply. There's been many cases where those useful rants have been very helpful. Where like I think of something, I'm like, oh man, here's the deal with the X, Y, and Z. Or here's what business owners should be focused on when it comes to this. Or here's why video on this platform is working better. Or here's how you increase the performance of your videos. And I just go on a very useful rant. Keep in mind, all the stuff that I'm telling you right now is stuff that we are living and going through every single week. We're getting 30 to 40 plus videos a week. We're basically gonna be quadrupling the amount of videos that we post. 40 plus videos across the 4 major platforms that we're on. LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, regular YouTube, and then Instagram. And as I mentioned before, this is now something that we're implementing with clients. In terms of how to record the footage, again, smartphone, wireless mic. If you're doing long form videos, it's gonna be horizontal. If you're doing most of the time, you're probably gonna be doing vertical short form videos, which means that smartphone needs to be vertical. Wireless mics that we use, this Hollyland mic I really like. The Rode mics are great. It's like kind of a couple levels up. And even the Comicas and the Movos are really nice. I'll put links in the description of this video if you wanna snatch any of these up. Beautiful part about these is that you can't see it now because it's in the phone. They literally plug in to the end of your phone, the end of your smartphone. So all you guys plug in here and then it syncs up to this, and I've got a magnet on the other side of this. That's why that clip is staying on. You could use a little lapel, run it up your shirt, a lot of different things, and you're good to go, you're in business. The only other thing I would say is get some type of portable or handheld tripod, and even a tripod to be able to set down when you're in meetings and you just want it to be able to be stationary. Now that you've become the content and you've got all this good raw footage, step 4 is we upload the content. I mean, naturally, right? That's the next step. We're not just gonna leave it there. So this is where I was talking about that automation earlier, where for us, when we're uploading the content and it's going in G Drive, as soon as we drop that video in G Drive, it's a Zapier automation. Zapier basically connects these two with our Trello account. So as soon as the video gets put into the G Drive, Zapier automation happens. It's synced, connecting these two. Trello's our project management tool that we're using. You could use, again, Monday.com, Airtable, a lot of different ones you could use. Once we put it in here, it automatically creates a card under raw videos. It has the title of this video and it has the link to the G Drive video. So the editor can come through and go, oh, cool. I see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they'll just pluck this video and it goes right to in progress. My handwriting's getting terrible, I apologize. So they'll move this over here, now it's here. Now this one slides up, this one slides up, this one slides up. And you can see it kind of flows almost like a manufacturing facility where raw content comes in, raw material comes in, and out the other side comes edited, ready to be posted content. There's also another automation on the back end, which I won't get into too much detail here. I don't want to bore you with the technical stuff, but there's another automation that when we move the card to the final step, it copies the video, places it in an archive folder, and also a ready to be posted content folder. Step 5, we need to now curate the content. Now, when I say curate, I mean basically take the content that has been uploaded, the raw videos, and you may do this before you upload it, whatever your process looks like, but let's just say you're gonna upload it here, then someone else is gonna take it from raw videos and move it into ready to edit videos. To make that move from raw videos to ready to edit videos means someone has gone through and curated the content. And all I mean by this is they've picked out the moments in time of what should be a video clip and what should not be. And really there's two key components to good video curation. Step number one, you need a solid hook in the beginning of that video, meaning that Brandon can't look at this clip, curate it, and have the clip start off like this. So yeah, that's why I was thinking the other day that I should probably be doing. That doesn't make sense, right? It has to start off me saying something like, hey, if you want to increase the performance of your video, that's the hook, right? Or the number one mistake B2B companies are making with video is that's the hook. Or in 2019, I had 0 followers. That's the hook. So I'm teaching you what is a hook and what is not. And you're not creating the hooks necessarily, even though you can kind of manufacture them in a little bit to a certain extent with the content idea bank. But most of the time, you're just getting the hooks from being the content. You as the curator going through this, whoever that might be, has to determine, hey, is there a good hook at the beginning of this video? If I think of a video like this on a timeline, right, and maybe 60 seconds, I'd say for most of these short form vertical videos, most of them you're gonna wanna keep around 60 seconds or less, especially as you're getting into the higher volume. If the amount of videos you're gonna be posting is significantly increasing, for us, 40 plus videos across platforms, hard to do that when you're making 2 to 3 minute long videos. So we've had to basically say, hey, let's try to keep most videos 60 seconds or less. There are also some platforms, YouTube Shorts right this second, that only allow you to post up to 60 seconds anyways. But if you think of a video like this, 60 seconds here, it's starting here at 0 seconds, I want that first 1 to 2 seconds to 3 seconds. That is where my hook needs to be. Sometimes I said something in the video at the start of the video that is good enough to be the hook. Other times, Brandon or your content curator, whoever's going through this, will maybe need to take something that was said here and place it at the beginning of the video so that there is a hook. So maybe I did start off the video and I messed up and I was just like talking in conversation. Maybe he was recording me talking to a client or me talking to a prospect or on the podcast or whatever it is. Maybe I said something like, oh man, it's so crazy now. Because if you think about, and even a couple years ago, that's not a start of a hook. But maybe I said something really valuable that we felt like could be a great video clip, but 30 seconds later, I said, and that's why companies are failing with video. That's why social media video and content doesn't work for some companies. So all Brandon does is go, hey man, this is a great video clip. I definitely want to use this. I don't have the hook here. In some videos I may. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this 3-second clip or 3-second hook, and I'm just gonna move it right to the beginning, and then I'm gonna let the rest of that video play out. So content curation comes down to 2 things. One, making sure that the clip is actually good. It aligns with the content strategy. It aligns with the content pillars. Ideally, it's gonna be 60 seconds or less. It's a good piece of valuable content based on your dream clients. And then 2, ensuring that there's a good hook in that first couple of seconds. Otherwise, it's gonna get a scroll by and no one's gonna watch the video to begin with. That's content curation. A couple examples of hooks that we have in here just to use. There's a trillion of them, and I have a good ChatGPT prompt for how to get way more hooks, and I give it examples of like, hey, here's 20 good hooks I've used in the past that have performed well. Give me 50 more like this or 100 more like this. Ton of great AI prompts and tools you can use now to generate better quality content faster. But just as an example, tease the value would be one example of a hook. So hey, here's how I make 40 plus videos every single week without creating a single piece of content. That's a hook. I'm being the content, I'm not creating it. Boom, there's your hook. It could be a start to a compelling story. In 2019, I had 0 followers. No one knew who the hell I was. Now I've got millions of views every single year and I'm X, Y, and Z. Or I had a client go from 0 to $100,000 worth of revenue in 3 months by implementing this video strategy, right? Start to a compelling story. Another example is a bold statement. I may say something like, traditional marketing agencies are dying. Here's why. Or I may say, hey, stop focusing your time and efforts on the LinkedIn company page. It's a waste of time, right? It's something that not everyone is gonna agree with. People are gonna have different takes. That's why it's a bold opinion. That's why it's a bold statement. If it's something that everyone agreed with, it wouldn't be a bold statement. If I came out and said, it's a good idea to post on social media to grow your business and grow your brand, people are like, yeah, no shit. Everyone agrees with that, right? That's not a bold statement. So you gotta be able to take a stance sometimes, and that works great for a hook. Remember, good hooks are visual, audio, and emotional. It's what you see, it's what you hear, and it's what you feel. Tip for the content creator, okay? Make it easy on your curator. So you as the creator, when you're being the content in step 3, the best thing you can do is try to be intentional with, let's say, and we're going through this now, let's say I'm on a meeting with somebody, or whether it's a virtual call, meeting with a team, or in person, whatever it is, I need to be thoughtful with trying to give my curator a good hook. So again, if I'm having a conversation with a client, I'm sitting down, I'm doing my thing, I know Brandon's recording me right now, which he always is, and they ask me a question and say, hey Alex, where do you see other B2B companies struggling right now with video? Instead of me saying, well, really, I think it's a couple different things. Now he's got to try to find a hook for this video. He's got to go back in and maybe look for one, maybe there's not one, and maybe not even be a clip if there's not a good hook. Instead, what I'm going to be doing as the creator, as the one that's being the content, I'm basically going to repeat that question back. So I'm going to say something like, the number one thing that B2B companies are getting wrong with video is this. And maybe I even tease it out longer and say, the number one thing that companies are getting wrong with B2B videos isn't even what most people think it is. Most people think it's this, this, and this. In reality, it's something completely different. It's actually this. So you get the point, right? So as the creator, make it easy on your curator. Show them some love. Be intentional with how you're reacting and responding to things, and be patient with yourself, because this just takes some time. But if you want to get really good at this and do this at a high level and efficiently, you got to be able to think about this stuff as you're going through your day. Moving on to step 6, which is edit the videos. All right, we call this post-production. So now going back to the workflow that we've labeled and organized, we've become the content, we've recorded some great videos, we've uploaded the content. Our curator, which would probably be our content director / social media manager, has gone through and found the best clips. They've either timestamped them or actually trimmed them themselves and then sent in the next folder that indicates that it's ready for the videos to be edited and post-produced. By the way, on this curation, there are things, I know somebody might be wondering, isn't there AI that can do this stuff? Yeah, there's Opus Clip is a great one. There's a ton of other tools where basically you upload a long form video and it will curate 10, 15 different short form videos in just a few minutes. This stuff's gonna get a lot better as time goes on. Right now, it's not gonna be as good as a human. They're not gonna be able to go through and identify and pull something from a 30-second in to the beginning of the video, or get really creative with it, or add entertainment, or add your style. Like, it's just not quite there yet. It's good. If it's all you got, you're a one-person team, you have no resources, I definitely check it out. If you've got a team in place, you may leverage partially of AI. We use AI, write some of the copy, transcriptions to help us format some of the stuff, but to use it 100%, it's just not quite there yet. Opus Clip actually edits the video too, so it actually would do this part too. So when it comes to editing the videos, what we do is we've got full-time video editors that we work with that actually take the videos and then edit the videos. Now they use AI in this process, so they're using things like Runway and Descript and a lot of other tools that cuts down the time it takes them to make videos and allows them to make better quality videos in less time. But if you were a one-person show, let's say, I would use something like a Descript or an Opus Clip where it would transcribe the video, give you auto captions, allow you to put things in there. That could technically work. But again, we're always trying to take it to the next level. We don't want to just be like, oh, the bar is here and this is what you could do. This is the minimum requirements. We want to be here. We want to set the tone for the entire industry. We want to be the best. All right, so we're going to have video editors actually take the videos now and move them to in progress, so we know that we're tracking what is actually being worked on and what is not, and they're going to start to edit the videos. If you don't have a video editor and you want one, I would go to a few different places. One, there's job boards that are overseas where you can target specific geographical locations. For example, the Philippines. There's Upwork, there's Fiverr, that's a little bit more freelancy. And then there's places like LinkedIn, which I used to hire my last 2 people here in the States. LinkedIn's an excellent platform. This video is brought to you by LinkedIn. No, I'm kidding, it's not. But I love LinkedIn and I would sponsor you because that platform has absolutely changed my life, and that's not even an understatement. Step number 7 would be distro the content. Distribute the content. What do I mean by this? I mean really 2 things here. One, we're gonna need copy, hashtags, potentially trending sounds, music, things like that, a bunch of different things you could add in here. And then 2, actually just scheduling the content, right? So when I think about distributing the content, again, we came all the way down here now. The videos are edited. They've been, if there's any revisions, we came back, gave the revisions, gave the feedback to the editors. They've made the changes, and now it's ready to review. We've reviewed it. It's good to go. We're now ready to get this content out to the world. So if you notice in that Trello, I have a post on deck. That's where everything in here now, once the video has been edited, everything's gonna move to the on deck. So you'll just see cards here, all videos that are labeled, that are on deck, and then they're gonna move to Distribute the content, that's that last folder. Edited videos, I think it's edited videos ready to be scheduled and posted, right? So now we just take the ones that are on deck that are completely done. These would have the copy written, which we would use AI plus a human to write the copy. Hashtags, everything's all ready to go here. And then once we basically take that, and when you could use a scheduling app, there's a ton of different scheduling apps that you could use. You can also schedule natively through most of the platforms now. So you could schedule once a day, twice a day, whatever your rhythm is. But once they're on deck and they move to edited videos, scheduled and ready to be archived, you should be archiving all your content as well to store it for future use, to be able to remix it, a lot of different reasons. Once we move from on deck to edited videos, it just moves right to here. And then we are basically done with the entire process. That is how we're making 40+ video posts every single week on social media, and how it's gained the performance that we've got, won the clients that we've won, grown the business the way we've grown the business. If you've got any questions on this, hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. To be honest, I think this is the future of video marketing. I think way more companies are going to be doing this. We've seen people like your Gary V's, your Grant Cardones, your Alex Hormozzi's, other people that have done this before. But for a lot of you watching, and I know for me for the past few years, I felt like that was something reserved for the bigger companies or the bigger celebrity entrepreneurs, the millionaires, billionaires, people that have a personal brand team of 15 different people. My team is 5 people right now, probably will be 6 by the time this video gets out. It doesn't have to be huge. You can leverage talent abroad. We are on a mission to make this accessible to small to medium-sized businesses. You've seen it done by the celebrities, but now we're trying to show you that it can be done at a small to medium-sized business level, and it can be done at a very high level. Apple didn't make the first smartphone. Tesla didn't make this first electric car. What they did is they came into the marketplace, they did it the best, and then they made it accessible to every other person out there. That is exactly what we're doing with the Be Smart video strategy. If you got questions, hit me up in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Make sure you download the PDF that I created that walks through this entire process. We'll link that up in the description as well. Let's get it, guys.